Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight Pit Podcast, episode 25.
We've officially reached the quarter of a century mark. Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah!
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 Yeah! Fatal 4-Way. We're just going to get right into it. This is from 2010.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Jeff Hardy would have been in it if it was 2009. But...
I wish he was. I would have added some serious
yeah,
spice to it.
for real. This pay-per-view, I mean, the basis of it is all the world championships are on the line in Fatal 4-Way matches, and that's it. I don't really get the reason why.
There's a reason it was only a pay-per-view for a year.
Yeah, for real. But, yeah, it was kind of weird. I really liked the intro of the entire show, though, because it had Kane, which, you know, especially during this time and his Undertaker feud kind of thing. I mean, I don't really know the exact timeline. I'd probably have to look at other pay-per-views to really put it together. But he was basically trying to defend Undertaker because somebody put him in a paralysis state or whatever.
Yeah.
A vegetative
state.
A vegetable state.
I mean, basically the same thing.
But yeah, I really liked the intro. It was kind of cinematic. That's what I liked most about it. And it's Kane. I like Kane.
Kane's conclusion of, well, if it wasn't one of you, then it had to be all four of you. I'm like, nice.
We started off, Mr. McMahon comes out, and Bret Hart, who's the general manager at this time,
Right.
which was kind of weird to think about.
Dumb.
McMahon announces Hart will not be there, and then it does a recap of the NXT.
Yeah, Nexus attacking Bret Hart and just absolutely destroying him in the limo. Like, they have somebody driving the limo, and he's like, they just go forward, go back, turn the car a little bit at an angle, go back, go forward. They're just crashing into everything they can see. I'm like, bro.
I mean, how could you even think of doing that to an old man like Bret Hart?
But what doesn't make sense, though, other than Bret Hart moving around? How is that going to hurt him?
He's in a car crash.
But it's a limo!
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just saying, there's going to be multiple seats in that limo. How is that going to hurt him other than moving him back and forth?
It is just a crazy thing to think about. You're just going to crash a car with yourself in it to hurt somebody else. That's like, what they did to Bret the Hitman Hart. And now he's not allowed, or he's not able to be at Fatal 4-Way. But we started off Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship. And this was a stark difference from today.
Oh,
because if you think about Drew versus Kofi, that would be a world championship picture. This was Jamaican Kofi, like maybe a little bit later after he lost his Jamaican accent. What are you talking about? Jamaican be crazy.
Jamaican me crazy.
That's stupid. Shut up, CM Punk. But yeah, we had Drew McIntyre's Broken Dreams, which is what I was really excited for.
I want them to bring it back WWE. I don't want to hear Broken Dreams.
For real. I don't care about the... I don't care about his other theme song. All
time.
So say goodbye.
What is yours?
Man, shut up. Drew McIntyre, is mine. He basically... We do a recap. He assaults both Matt Hardy and Kofi Kingston, and Matt Hardy's not allowed to be on TV at this time. And Drew orders Teddy Long, the general manager of SmackDown, to sit down during the Drew versus Kofi match.
Yeah.
Kofi controls the beginning with kicks, and Drew, he suckers Kofi to the outside and takes control basically immediately. Kofi flips through the bottom and middle rope with a kick, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Drew was on the outside, and he just straight up was on the ground, on the mat, and on the inside, Kofi was, and then he just flipped out. I thought that was kind of cool. McIntyre takes control again, and he sessions in armbar. And Kofi tried a comeback, but Drew McIntyre just kept taking over immediately. Just over and over again, he's stopping the train. There was a clothesline into a float over DDT. Wow, flat over. Yeah, I thought that was a cool spot.
Yeah.
Trouble in Paradise reversal. And then there was a back suplex into a crossbody. A springboard tornado DDT near fall by Kofi Kingston. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
A huge powerbomb near fall. SOS near fall. And then Drew throws Kofi into the ref. And a future shock DDT. And he would have gotten the pin if he didn't throw Kofi into the ref.
Yeah, and Drew immediately goes over to Teddy. He's like, "You get in the ring."
Yeah, Teddy Long is forced to be the referee, and Teddy goes 1, 2. Nah, player. What the heck? No, player. Yeah, Teddy, that was very funny. And then Drew McIntyre, he gets distracted by Teddy, and out of nowhere comes in Matt Hardy with a twist of fate, and then a Trouble in Paradise. Kofi Kingston retains the championship. And I thought it was a good match. At first,
it was a good opener for sure.
About halfway through, I was thinking, okay, I don't really like this match. Then at the end of it, when the Teddy Long stuff happened and it progressed even further, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
We had a Hart Dynasty promo, which if you don't know who that is, that's David Hart Smith, British Bulldog's son, and Tyson Kidd with Natalya.
Boo.
And yeah, they were basically asked about Bret Hart, getting killed by the Nexus. And they were like, "Oh, we're sad," and then they said, "Yeah, we're really excited to fight the Usos."
We're gonna beat the Usos and Tamina, and that was basically it.
I was happy to see Tyson Kidd though.
Yeah. Wish he could come back, but that's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Yeah.
We have the first Fatal 4-Way of the night with Maurice versus Gail Kim versus Alicia Fox versus Eve Torres for the Divas Championship.
Bro, this match was straight garbage.
It wasn't a long match, especially for a Fatal 4-Way. It was like 10, 15.
It wasn't absolutely awful, but it was so boring. It was not good.
I mean, I thought it was okay. There was a great bridge by Alicia Fox.
Oh, yeah. I love that spot. That was a good spot.
An armbar while Eve had the octopus by Gail.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both were doing a submission on, I can't remember who it was. And then Gail breaks the armbar attempt by Eve by just kicking her right in the face. It was, for real, so devastating. Especially for the women's fights at that time. Alicia and Maurice, they had a stare down. Yeah, there wasn't a lot. Swinging neck breaker and a moonsault combination by Eve. And just as Eve is about to win the championship, I think retain, Alicia basically steals it.
Eve hits the moonsault, gets Alicia Fox throws out Eve, and then just pins Maurice and wins.
Yeah, I thought it was a good ending. It was exciting for what it was, but it just wasn't,
It could have been better.
This was 2010 women's wrestling in WWE. It was not...
The division was not very good.
Well, the division was good. The booking was and insanely... They weren't even wrestlers at this point. They weren't the women's wrestlers like Charlotte and Sasha.
I respect your opinion, but the division was not good compared to that.
Oh yeah, definitely not compared to today. For real. But Gail Kim was good.
Gail Kim was good.
Maurice
Eve was
decent.
good. And that's about it.
Alicia Fox, she was
okay.
She's not a good wrestler.
She wasn't in her prime of her career at this point.
Well, I mean, even when she was in her prime, she wasn't really good.
No, she wasn't.
But she is athletic.
Oh yeah,
I'll give her that.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, we cut backstage. Big Show wishes Rey Mysterio luck. You'll need it in the Fatal 4-Way, which is just the probably biggest size disparity in WWE of all time. Rey Mysterio and Big Show.
Yeah, I love the camera cut when he's talking about if I have to knock you out, and they zoom in on his head, and I'm like,
it was bigger than Rey Mysterio's head.
Dang, bro. He's like, if I have to knock you out, I will.
Chris,
like you said, seeing that fist to head comparison, I'm like, dang, his hands are huge.
Chris Jericho versus Evan Bourne was next. And the real only story going into this was that Evan Bourne is a newcomer and Jericho is no longer a newcomer. He's now in his stage of his career as being a veteran.
Evan Bourne's spotlight.
Yeah, he wants to be the veteran. And obviously today, in 2024, he's kind of like a Hollywood Hogan stealing everybody's spotlight
in
AEW. But at this time, this was like peak Jericho, in my opinion. After his Undisputed Championship win, there wasn't a lot that happened. No. Some matches, like against Cena in 2005, not a lot happening. I know he had his Jericho gimmick for a while. This was peak Jericho.
I don't know if this was quite his peak yet, but it was definitely the start of his peak.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe not in ring, but when it comes to character work, he was just
some of his best character work in his career, for sure.
Evan with a flying push to the outside, which, I don't know, Evan Bourne, he's a high flyer. His moves were just so basic, though.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he had the shooting star press, which is a signature of any high flyer that, and that they're
Honestly,
beautifully good at what they do if they can do that. However, Evan Bourne's stuff was just like, okay, he flies off the ropes. What is he going to do? He doesn't do a double axe handle. He doesn't do a cross body. He just kind of
goes into see what happens.
Well, he doesn't even do a flip. He just does this cool, like rock star thing in the air, and then he falls on them, and he doesn't even fall on them. He kind of just pushes them as he falls. It's so, I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, Chris takes control almost immediately with a springboard drop kick to the apron. But Evan Bourne kept coming in with kicks. Jericho with a beautiful bridging German, though. I thought that was awesome. And Jericho is on the top rope. Evan Bourne basically, from a standing position, jumps up and gets Jericho with a Hurricane Rana, which I was just like, wow. That vertical was insane. There was a Meteoria into the walls of Jericho, and Evan is stuck in that for a while, but he gets to the ropes. Drop toe hold into the steps on Chris Jericho. Flying Meteoria near fall, and then airborne into a code breaker near fall.
That spot was crazy.
Yeah, airborne was basically a shooting star press.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how it went, but I don't think it was right into the code breaker. That would have been done for.
Yeah.
I think he got out of it, Evan Bourne landed, and then code breaker or something like that.
I think he might have rolled through. I'm pretty sure he rolled through and then tried to come back to attack him and got hit with code breaker.
There was a roll up near fall. Walls into a tornado DDT. He was going for the walls of Jericho. He didn't get it, and then there was a...
Yeah, that spot was crazy. I remember that, because he kind of flipped himself up onto Jericho's head and spun around to a DDT. I was like, dude, how did you do that? You flipped your own body weight to the top of his head.
Basically, Evan was on the top. Jericho was trying for a superplex, and he basically picked him up, front superplex, and Jericho's dropped down. He gets the shooting star press airborne for the victory, and this was legitimately surprising. I mean, I've never actually watched this pay-per-view up until now, but going back and seeing, okay, Chris Jericho versus Evan Bourne,
I
never expected Bourne to win.
I don't think anybody would have expected Bourne to win, because he was such an up-and-comer.
And now. I mean, yeah.
He was such an up-and-comer at this time. It's okay, somebody against Chris Jericho, you don't expect him to get a big win like this. But they gave it to him.
He's not a huge star now. It's not like Cody Rhodes where he was a kind of a jobber, then a mid-carder, now world champion. Evan Bourne is now Matt Sydal, and he's the tag team wrestler, probably at best. Probably wouldn't be, at this stage ever again. Right. He was main event material with Jericho and on WWE. Now he's an AEW mid-carder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's still amazing.
Right.
But
just
this
not
was
gonna get that kind of booking probably again.
This was probably peak Jericho, peak Evan Bourne, especially for Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
We had Jack Swagger versus CM Punk versus Big Show versus Rey Mysterio. This was CM Punk with the mask, a very short time that he had a mask on. And this was... I don't know. I thought it was really funny seeing him in it. This was the second Fatal 4-Way of the night for the World Championship. And I kind of like Jack Swagger's theme song.
Yeah.
Jack 1-2. Oh yeah.
I got you where I want you.
I remember that from SmackDown vs. Raw.
And I show you. That's probably one of the... Even though I didn't like Jack Swagger and his character work, he probably had one of the catchiest entrance themes at that time.
This is probably the most failed World Championship wrestler.
He had so much potential.
You don't really care to see him.
No. But I mean,
athletically, he had potential. He had no character.
Yeah.
He's still not good at character work.
Never has been.
Yeah,
he should have stayed in MMA.
He was world champion. But yeah, we started off Swagger and Punk went right after Rey Mysterio, and then Big Show just took control. Rey dumped CM Punk out, and then Rey and Big Show have a stare down, which is it's a 310-pound difference, as Michael Cole said. And legitimately, Rey Mysterio is he's trying to fight back. He gets out of the ring for a second, and he's just trying to regroup. Big Show grabs him by the cranium and picks him up with one hand, and when I say it looks effortless, I mean it is the... It's just like the dictionary definition of, oh my god.
Right.
How did he do that? I get Rey Mysterio is only 180 pounds. That is still 180 pounds. It's just such a sight to see.
Yeah.
It's awesome. He grabs him by the head, brings him back in, and Big Show tries to cover, like, they do a sequence of moves. Show tries to cover everybody, but gets a near fall for everybody. Double German suplex by Jack Swagger on CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. That was awesome. Big Show stops the 619 on CM Punk, and then Ray kicks the steps into Big Show's knee, taking him out for a while. A GTS by CM Punk, and then out of nowhere, here comes Kane.
He's just like, you, no, it's you.
He went right up to CM Punk, obviously assuming that it was the Society.
Punk's like, who, me?
What is their name called? Society?
The Straight Edge Society.
Yeah, Straight Edge Society. That's what
SES.
Yeah, Kane comes out with the casket and then tries to put CM Punk in it. CM Punk's fighting back.
Punk's like, what did I do?
Luke Gallows comes out and saves CM Punk. And then Rey Mysterio gets a 619 on Jack Swagger and gets the pin. And Rey Mysterio is your World Heavyweight Champion.
Another crazy finish to the Fatal 4-Way match. Like, just went from, okay, some good offense, some good wrestling here. The two. Kane comes out, takes out CM Punk. Ray hits a 619, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me?
Yeah, it was a good good match, I think.
Yeah. I think it was a good match up until the ending was kind of weird, but I mean, for the most part, it was a pretty good match.
The next part, John Cena had a backstage interview, and he talks about the Nexus, and then he says, I will try my best. I can't guarantee I'll win, but I'll try my best.
It's us against the world, or in this case, us against the Nexus. They'll either team with me, or they'll be against me. I don't care. I'm going to do my best.
This is definitely most babyface John Cena.
This is, I don't want to say the word, like, kissing Vince McMahon's butt, John Cena.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm the top of WWE. I'm gonna do my best,
I'm gonna do my best to look the best that I can. And if it just takes me, I'm gonna do it by myself.
Yeah,
and succeed.
No. The highlight of the night came when The Miz took on R-Truth. And it wasn't the match, it was the aura between these two. Because The Miz just started rapping The Miz.
The Miz, the Miz, the Miz.
His parody of R-Truth's I don't
it was
even know
awful.
I don't even know what it's called.
You can't match up the
But yeah, it was pretty funny.
R-Truth.
This was for the United States Championship. Basically, The Miz beat R-Truth in a U.S. Championship Fatal 4-Way match like the week earlier. That set up this one-on-one match. And looking back at it now, this is awesome truth. This is like their lead up to the Rock and John Cena angle. I can't really remember the timeline. This was 2010.
It was a weird timeline at this point. There was so much going on.
Yeah, so
it's hard to keep track.
I'm going to assume that after this was Cena versus Rock, and then that's when they actually teamed up. But it is nice to go back and see this this match between two of the current tag team champions.
Yeah.
But this was 14 years ago.
Right. That's crazy.
And R-Truth still looks the exact same.
The exact same. I mean, different hairstyle,
just with a beard.
of course, but
a
beard and a different hairstyle. But other than that, he looks the exact same.
Miz's awful chants reigned throughout the building. Truth was in control at the beginning, but Miz took over quickly. And Miz goes after Truth's midsection the entire match. He stops Truth's attempts at a comeback, and he's eventually able to get a missile drop kick, which they said on commentary, okay, well, what about his midsection? He just landed right on it. But Truth got the comeback. He was trying for it. A backbreaker, neck breaker by Miz. Got a near fall. And then there was a scissors kick to the face. Like, the Miz was basically draped on the top rope, like Tree of Woe position. Scissors kick to the face, near fall. And then Miz gets a quick roll up. That was a win for the Miz, retaining his U.S. Championship. like I said, I really think it was the highlight of the night. It wasn't a long match, but it was still good. Next, we ran into Edge backstage, and he basically says he runs through all of the mentality of his opponents for the night. John Cena, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. Basically saying John Cena, he only has 25% chance of making it out tonight. Andy has the Nexus looming behind him, and then Randy Orton has an injured shoulder that Edge himself injured, so It doesn't matter. And then Sheamus isn't even ready. Then Edge said, "I'm the best. I will win." And we had the semi-main event, which was the Hart Dynasty of the trio, David Hart Smith, Tyson Kidd, and Natalya versus the Usos and Tamina. And this was right after the Usos debuted. This wasn't legendary championship reign Usos status. This was 2010 pre-paint Usos.
It made me think of their entrance.
Their dance.
Yeah, the dance they did. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
That's the only thing I remember. And then they had that groovy theme. I forget how it went, but
yeah, I don't know. This was kind of a boring match. I didn't really.
I didn't even watch it because I didn't. It just didn't sound like a very good match. I was just like.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these matches, it suffered from the lack of
good booking, honestly.
Well, yeah, you could say that the lack of just people wanting to engage with it. I didn't like it. I didn't care.
Yeah, I don't think they cared that if the people cared. I think they did, but they didn't.
I think this was a very awkward time for WWE. They had just gotten into the PG era, and there were certain things. I don't know. I just think wrestling's a lot better now.
I think you put it perfectly by saying it was a weird era. It was a very weird era.
Yeah, but we're not even going to really go over that. But I do want to mention Hart Dynasty were the undisputed tag team champions. They were the world and WWE tag team champions before it got changed to the classic bronze.
Yeah.
The shit bronze. But yeah, we had the main event: John Cena versus Edge versus Randy Orton versus Sheamus for the WWE Championship. And I thought it was a good match. You had Cena go after Sheamus, and then Randy Orton and Edge, they fought it out at first, and then it was Edge versus Cena after they took out their respective opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a good back and forth. I don't remember a lot of the match, and I didn't take a lot of notes over it, but the main point of this match, it wasn't really supposed to be a match. This was legitimately just a setup for the Nexus at the end.
To attack everybody, essentially.
Yeah, you went backstage, and they showed, I think it was the Hart Dynasty.
And Evan Bourne is who I have.
And then somebody else.
Evan Bourne.
Yeah, I know. Somebody else other than Evan Bourne.
Oh.
I think it was Kofi or something. But I don't know. They were shown backstage just watching that match, and then the Nexus attacked everybody. And then they went out and they started attacking... I think they started attacking Cena first, and then Edge when he tried to help Cena. And then I don't think they really went after Orton. Orton was already taken out. But as they were attacking Edge, Sheamus got on top of Cena and got the victory. And then the Nexus was trying to go after him. And then they just kept beating up John Cena. And Justin Gabriel hit a beautiful 450 splash, just like Justin Gabriel does.
Yeah.
And then we did the... Sheamus was at the top, and he had the championship. He was raising it, and then the Nexus just started chasing him. And that was pretty funny. But Sheamus was the new WWE champion. I would probably rate this entire pay-per-view as 5 out of 10. Very basic. And, there's something to be said with these pay-per-views that are match-branded pay-per-views, like TLC or Hell in a Cell or Fatal 4-Way.
Gimmick-based.
Yeah, the gimmicks are kind of stupid. You don't need a gimmick pay-per-view. No. You don't need Hell in a Cell to have a Hell in a Cell match. They do it more at WrestleMania now.
Yeah.
Did they even have Hell in a Cell last year?
I don't think so.
See, I know Triple H was trying to get rid of that stuff, but yeah, this was a perfect example of, okay, well, Fatal 4-Way, so guess what we have? We have 3 Fatal 4-Ways that are kind of meaningless. I like the build up to Punk, Show, Swagger, and Ray, and I also like the build up to Cena, Edge, and Orton and Sheamus. But the other Fatal 4-Way just didn't matter. It was the Divas
the only matches I feel like had a build were the two you mentioned, and maybe Miz versus Truth, and maybe Drew versus Kofi. But that was more Drew and Teddy Long than it was anything. So there wasn't a lot of build in this match, like you said. It was a lot of meaningless.
In general.
Yeah, in the pay-per-view. There wasn't really... It was more based off of, like you said, here's the gimmick. We're going to make a bunch of gimmick matches, and then just throw in a couple matches. It just didn't seem like a lot. It was okay.
Yeah, this was a pretty meaningless pay-per-view, and I didn't really care for it.
Like I said originally, there's a reason it was only done 1 year.
Up in it, we tryna get higher. Put it back, I cooking a rack, me eating that pack of meal in a stopper, holding it down, pull up in the primary real, the just not faking the cap. Yeah, killing the trapper, coming back, I'll break new loose, keep up in the track, I'm feeling the beach, you burning, healing, marketing, typing, making me scream. Don't clap in the sea, air track and pee, I'm master love, but feet deep, I'm switching my game, take passion, even with my shot, no line to see.